We're talking about dinner time with our families, with our kids, and those picky eaters. Back with Dr. Malcom with some great advice on what we want to keep in mind with our little ones. And one thing that we were talking about is what is normal, right? Sometimes that's hard to know. And what do you want parents to keep in mind for their kids about that?
Yeah, I think especially with when we think about babies and toddlers, toddlers starting around age 1, it is really common for them to not eat a whole lot. There's going to be some days that they're going to eat a lot. Other days they may not eat hardly at all. Some days they love a particular food. The next day they might turn their nose up at it. All of that is really normal behavior. Keep in mind that after babies turn 1, they enter a rate of really slow growth until they hit puberty. So they're not needing a ton of calories. And so, but that sort of back and forth of eating a lot and not that much is completely normal.
Also, something normal that maybe used to be a little more normal was kind of finish your plate, you know, before you can leave the dinner table. Right. And that, you say, isn't really quite the same anymore.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. Sometimes we would use sort of dessert as an enticement to finish the plate. And I think we really do our kids a disservice with that. We are not really listening to their bodies for when they're full. And also, I think it does, you know, as we think about the overweight and obesity epidemic in the United States, I think that does contribute, because then we're eating when we're not really hungry, or we learn to eat when we're not really hungry. I think now really having the approach of offering your kids healthy foods, the same foods that you're eating, and then really trying to step back and allowing them to decide how much of what you just gave them on their plate to eat, and being okay with them not eating anything. Most healthy kids are growing perfectly and their bodies know how much they need. I would say the only caveat to that would be a kid who has an underlying medical condition and sometimes some behavioral type concerns. We may not approach it in the same way, but for healthy kids who don't have underlying medical conditions, I think this works really well.
I love that. Something else that I know I always loved and I looked forward to is when you get to have dinner time and family time together when you're eating meals, and you say that's really important.
Yes, there's a lot of research behind how important that is for kids' self-esteem, for modeling behavior that you want them to see, to learn social behaviors, like how to have a conversation. I think it's hard in this day and age where we're working, we're busy, it's hard to sit down, but as much as you can, I encourage you to do that. Really try and turn off TVs, screens, put the phone away, and have conversations with your kids during that time. And again, that'll be a time when they can really kind of watch what you're eating and try to model that behavior as well.
I love that, just building on that relationship too. Thank you so much, Dr. Malcom.
You're welcome.
For more information on Metropolitan Pediatrics, visit them on the web at metropediatrics.com.